All right, Jai. So this is my second attempt of my fade. So last time you laughed at me. We didn't get that on camera. Should have B-rolled
Yeah.
that, but you ready? So again, this is just my second
Second
attempt.
attempt, let's
So
see. The first
just
one
bear
was
with me.
definitely
Yeah, yeah,
bit of deplorable. Let's see this one. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad. The line is not there yet, but at least it's not like the last one looked like you used a machete or something. This one looks better. It's nice.
yeah.
At
All
least
right,
at least you don't
perfect.
need a
Thank
hat.
you.
The last one you needed a hat. This one you don't need a hat. You're getting better, man. And that's the thing, right? Like we were saying,
Appreciate
by the fourth or fifth time, you'll be a pro at it. So you're
it.
good. You're good,
Exactly,
man.
exactly. All right, perfect. All right, guys, thank you for joining. This is Thought Friday. I think we got an interesting one for you. And we're just going to run this clip and then we're going to
Sure.
discuss it.
Nice
Jasmine,
to meet
nice to
you.
meet you. Okay, so you say that women are more fulfilled at home with kids than going out into the workforce or getting educated, but that just really doesn't bear out when you look at the stats, when you look at how working mothers are way less likely to be.
One thing I wanted to call out, sometimes statistics can be misleading. It all depends on what lens you're
Hmm.
looking at it, from what perspective
Hmm.
you're looking at it. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some hard and fast statistics, but I think sometimes things like this, it can become a little skewed. So the topic here, and this is going to be pretty much our Thought Friday, is no career will give women as much joy and influence or fulfillment as
Hmm.
raising children. And I think what this lovely lady's argument is with the flurry blouse, she's arguing, given this new day and age, this is an antiquated notion. The challenge, though, is, based off of the demographic of
Speaking
of
with,
who
yeah.
you're, yeah, you know what I mean? That could all be subjective, is a black woman's experience in US the same as a white woman's experience? Because that experience will dictate pretty much how you look
Hmm.
at things. Just to want to add a little color and commentary to
Yeah,
that
no, I
notion.
mean, the only pushback I'll give towards that is when we look at generalities, the moment a woman has a child, it's not even about studies or anything. You see the changes, and there's exceptions, but in general, when a woman gives birth to a child, bearing any circumstance like maybe drug abuse or mental health or anything like that, her perspective in life or what she wants to accomplish changes, and the focus becomes that child. And it's not just me, it's not anecdotally my story, it's just in general, women who give birth to children, the focus shifts. Now, whether when you now talk about fulfillment, that's where it becomes subjective because all these studies that show that women is happier or maybe fulfilled when she gives birth to a child, it can become subjective because then now you start looking at income status, racial background, environment. But in terms of care and mindset, when a woman gives birth, the focus shifts to taking care of that child. I think I think that would have been a better conversation than talking about fulfillment because that becomes subjective. So yeah.
In poverty. Maternal education is the number one predictor of childhood outcomes, better scores, higher incomes in the future, fewer behavioral problems, better mental health. So it's weird to me and college educated women are least likely to get divorced. And they're the only women, the top 10% of women are the only women whose marriage rates are.
You said it, not me. That was your call. I don't know. It's one of those things. It has a lot to do because there people throw out statistics. Oh, study said this, study said that, study says that, like it's like, okay, so what are these actual studies? Like everybody's doing studies. Like, are they credible? And statistics show that this, statistics show that that. Are those stats credible? Who's the target audience? What's the sample size they use? The demographic sample size. If you go to maybe south side Chicago or something, and then you lose that sample size. Can you now say that is the factual evidence of, fulfillment for women? Like it's very subjective. It's
Yeah.
I like Candace's cadence on this. It's candid, but I like the way she took the time to say
And
she's going to approach 20 or is it 20 or 30 from feminists? That's a tough one, man. But yeah.
yeah. And what is this guy? I almost feel like when I see men in these panels, it irritates me. Like, really? What are you doing here? Just get out of here. What? This is about women. Let women
Yeah.
discuss. Why, as you as a man? Like, I just want to punch this guy in the
No,
face. Like, what's wrong with this guy?
Dave Chappelle says something very truthful in one of his comedy specials, and he was talking about abortion. And he said, guys, like whatever you may think when it comes to abortion, I think we just have to sit this one out. Let the women decide. Like
Exactly.
it's not for us. Just let them, let them
Exactly.
make the decision, slug it out. This is not our call. And to this, I agree as well. Some things you just, but who knows? He could be trying to promote his podcast as well.
Yeah. Unless the rules change and I have a say. So if I have an actual say, like she has to sign off for an abortion, and as a father, I have to sign off too, that's a different story. But right now, there's no say. The law is it's the woman's choice, whether it's pro life or pro
Pro-choice. Yeah.
whatever. I don't think with pro lifers, there's ever an option where for pro life, there is a mitigating circumstance for an abortion. You have to get signatures from both parties. I do agree with what Dave Chappelle is saying because either way, whether pro life or pro choice, we have no skin in the game. This is the other thing, and I think we talked about this. There should be requirements for DNA tests
Or when,
for
yes, yes,
when the
that
baby's
I
born
100% agree with.
and the
Yes, that I
mother.
100% agree with. Yeah,
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 it doesn't exist. Mother can technically put any
you're
man,
liable.
and you either just have to, yeah, you have to refute it or dispute it. Then it's like, why do I why sh-? Anyways, we're getting off
That's
topic.
fixing
Let
it.
me
Yeah.
continue.
They're going up. So they're getting married, they're staying married, and their kids are doing better. When you look at stay-at-home mothers, you see that they're more likely to report being depressed. They're more likely to report having.
On her face,
I
she
don't
has her
know.
cheeks done and she has her lips done. You can see that. That's clear. Oh,
You think so?
100%. 1000,
I
no,
didn't think about that.
1000%. She has her cheeks done and she has her lips done.
Maybe a little
Maybe,
Botox.
but
No.
she has some cosmetic procedures done. I don't know what it is, but you could tell from her cheekbones and her lips. Yeah.
Wow, it's interesting. You're like a whisperer of this type of stuff.
I'm an
Maybe you should be on this panel like that
no,
guy.
thanks. I'm good. I'll be an observer from afar.
True.
Anxiety and anger and all these types of things. So how can you say that? Seems like a woman, if you want to get married and have kids, you should go to college and have a career.
It sounds to me like we are looking at totally different statistics because everything that you said, I've actually read the exact opposite.
I'm glad we're on a fact check show with you.
Right, exactly.
Oh, it's so exciting.
That's going to be amazing. Okay.
Okay.
Because I know, like I said, I think what we're talking about is that there was this widespread report on female happiness. And I know that it was formally debunked and it was.
That's not what I'm talking about. Pew Research,
Right.
University of
Okay.
California. In fact, working mothers today
Let her
spend more
speak.
time.
Women at home are obviously spending more time with their children than people who are at work.
And children are not faring any better,
Right.
and they're faring worse.
How are you measuring their children faring worse?
Higher incomes, better scores, fewer health problems, fewer
Okay.
behavioral issues,
Okay.
and better mental.
So the just to get back to the claim I'm making here is that it is obvious that women who have children are going to be more fulfilled.
How is
right?
that obvious? Because you said so?
No, it's not obvious because I said so.
Some people are passionate about these things. I like watching Candace because I don't agree with everything she says, but the things she says that I do agree with, I really like the way she puts her foot forward on certain topics. I think for her to do something like this, you need to be more respectful. I've listened to what she's saying now, and it's like she's coming in with a vendetta. Like, I'm gonna defeat Candace in this argument. Be passionate, yes, but let her speak. Give her a chance. You're not gonna agree with everything she says. I mean, that's why you're here. You don't agree with it, but at the same time, you have to understand that this is one versus 20. So give her a chance to express herself and listen to what she has to say. She's just coming with anger and, well, maybe not anger, but so much passion. It's almost like it's too much.
It's because when you look at all the statistics in terms of women who are choosing not to have families, they are suffering from more depression, they're suffering from more anxiety. And
that's not true.
Okay, it is true. It is actually true that women who are choosing their career over starting families are finding themselves leaning more into medicines like Xanax because they suspended that time frame where women really should be looking to find a partner and to start a family because they were instead pursuing their careers.
Then why are
there
they
has
better
been
off?
it is a dishonest, it is totally a dishonest narrative that men and women want the same things out of life. We don't. We absolutely do not want the same things. In fact,
Wow.
we don't even
Stop that
measure.
for a second.
We
So she's
Yes.
speaking facts there. CDC is saying women are more likely to take antidepressants than men. I
Mhm.
mean, what does that tell you? There is something to be said in that people need to understand that biologically we're different. Now, I'm
Yeah.
right, but our brains are wired different. We are okay with hustling, going out there, taking the bait and all that stuff. But I know that there's women who want to hustle, who, like the idea of going to work, but I don't women who have kids also prefer to go to work. I would think that they would rather stay home and take care of their kids. But the only reason that a lot of people are forced to work is because you need a two household income to take care of kids. However, that being said, if you were to give most women an option to stay home or go to work, I would think most women would say, you know what, let my husband do the work, I'll stay home and take care of my kid. That's my thought. I could be wrong. I'm just stating my opinion.
No, you're right. You're right. And I think ultimately, you said it before, women are more nurturers and providers, just
Hmm.
instinctively. Instinctively. I have no desire. I mean, I have desires, but it gives me joy, like true joy, to be able to provide for my family and make them safe and protect them and be able to provide them with whatever they want. I truly love that. Does my wife love doing it? I think she does, but I think she loves receiving the gifts. I think my kids love receiving the gifts. And when you receive, someone has to provide it. Someone has to
Exactly.
give you the gift. And so that's what I love doing. And I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, a woman would love to receive the gift. Children love to receive the gift. The only thing I love doing is maybe buying myself a nice car. If my wife could buy me the car, I think she would like to buy me the car. I think you're spot on, and I think what Candace is saying resonates, where we don't value the same things. I think this is another reason why income disparities between men and women still exist. As much as the women's movement will say, oh, it's not equal, I think I argue is because most women probably aren't negotiating their rate, because at the end of the day, they don't see that as their main contributing thing. Most houses are dual income. That's become a norm, and they just want to do the job. It's not like they want to get paid severely underpaid, but they want to get paid appropriately, not the highest. That's what a man's thing. Like, I want to be paid the
Right.
highest if I can. So, and then the last thing I'll just say is women have a time expiry. That's a
That's true.
fundamental thing
That's
that I
true.
think none of them
Yep.
are bringing up. There's an expiration date on women biologically. So you would think, what is the purpose of having the womb if at the end of the day it doesn't give you joy? Like, no offense, but my be a little crass here, but my member down there gives me joy. I'm happy to have my. I'm just being honest. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jai.
Oh man, this guy.
Does it not give
Of
you
course it
joy?
does.
Just being
Did
honest,
you know
right?
that geriatric pregnancy? Because I remember a friend was telling me his girl is 32, and they said she was her like she's considered geriatric pregnancy at 32. I'm like, what? That I thought it was like I thought it was like
Wow.
35. They're like, no, because the moment you
That was like,
get to 30,
I thought it was like 45 or
no,
something.
like it starts from 32 and then it gets worse as by the age of 30, a lot of your eggs are gone.
So yeah, why would you not get joy out of having estrogen and having the eggs and being able to use them? I always hear that notion. I think you'll agree. Women are glowing when they're
Big
pregnant. There's
time,
an aura
big time,
around them that is just so
big time.
amazing. It's like, what? So, what? I don't understand how this world has just went topsy-turvy where now women get joy out of being a man, because that's what a career is. It's to ultimately provide. Just like how a man can be paternal, I can watch my kids, I take care of my kids. I love taking care of my kids, but I'll never have that same instinct and joy as a woman in that nurturing side of things versus a woman in complete opposite, or in stark contracts. A woman can be in the career, can have a job, but I don't think they would have as much joy of it as a man. Just like how I wouldn't have as much joy as giving pregnancy. So it's really interesting how, this young lady is arguing that a career would give more joy. It's really strange. But anyways, I'll let
No,
you.
no, let's just keep watching and let's see what she says.
Don't even measure success the same. Men and women don't even measure success the same.
So,
Okay?
but tell me how the women who are working and getting educated, why are they faring off better in all of these?
I am telling you that I do not believe they are faring off better in all of these. I am telling you that we are looking at totally opposite statistics. You're sitting here telling me that the statistics show that women who are working are producing better children. But I am
Right.
saying that women that grow up in a two-family home where the mother stays at home are faring better than the children who are being raised in an environment where both parents are
So why
working
don't
home. I do get to work from home.
No, no, no.
That's
I've
why I
watched your
said
show.
I'm
You talk about all the nannies you hire, and it's so hard to find a good
nanny. I never talked about all of the nannies I hired. I spoke about how difficult it was to find a babysitter who knew how to cook a meal.
You don't need a babysitter. Retire right.
Again, why
You
is
see what I said
she
earlier?
so
Like, yeah,
combative?
she
So
came in with a
interesting.
vengeance. Like, she just has this, I'm gonna get this girl today. I mean, yeah, she can be controversial, she can
Yeah,
but give her credit when, topic like this, just let her speak. Like, you're having a conversation, not a monologue,
exactly.
So, but yeah.
You have to let people respond to you when they're speaking,
Oh,
to
wow.
respond to you when
No, you want to be working, which is great.
you're telling me what I want now and then accusing me of telling you.
Wait, you don't want to work?
Can you just let me finish? Because you've said so many words that what you're trying to do here, like your argument style.
It's like
I
word
know.
salad now.
I'm going to say so much, not let her get a word in, and then walk away and feel like I've won. We're not having a conversation because you've not letting me respond to one of your points. Okay. What I am saying to you, first to answer what you just said, what I spoke to you about on the weekends is that it's been increasingly difficult to find a 25-year-old who even knows how to make boxed macaroni and cheese. That is in large part due to feminism. There's this idea that women shouldn't be cooking, like there's something fundamentally wrong with women even learning how to cook.
Spending as much time with your children as you possibly can, because that's the way to get the most fulfillment.
No, and that's what I'm trying to say. I am speaking to you
So then stop.
Okay,
Oh my
could you
God.
please let
This
somebody
is-
get in?
I did.
You're not. You have not let anybody finish. No one benefits when you're just speaking over me and not allowing me to respond.
It's funny. I don't necessarily have the same personality as Candace, but I really get annoyed when people cut me off. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. If you cut me off, it just means that you're not interested in what I have to say and you're more interested in what you have to say. So then this now becomes a monologue because you're not interested in hearing my position. You're not interested in hearing me. You're interested in getting what you need to get off your chest more so than hearing and trying to understand my perspective. This
No,
is one of my biggest
you're right,
annoyances.
because all you're doing is listening to respond and not listening to understand what the person's saying. That's a very annoying trait to have when you're having a conversation with someone, especially when it's a debate about a topic that you both don't share the same values. Let the person speak, and based on what they say, then you can respond. It doesn't give the person room to say what it is that they're trying to relay in terms of the conversation. It just constant yap, 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 yap. It's like, calm down. I can tell she doesn't have kids. I can tell
Exactly.
she doesn't have kids because if she did, she would have more patience. But anyways, let's go ahead.
You have an attitude and you believe in feminism, but you're not. See, you just have an attitude. It's performative.
I will be quiet if you address my point.
Does anybody actually feel here that I am being allowed to address any of her points when she just keeps running over me? Like I'm literally trying to answer your first point of you saying that I don't stay at home. Fair point. Obviously, I get that you're all anti-Candace and pro-feminist, not actually.
Okay, address the point. You spend more time saying that I'm not addressing, that you don't have a chance to talk. You could have addressed the point. I could have talked. Go for it.
You're not coming across as somebody who wants to actually have a conversation. So to get back to the claim, because I don't even know where you're at. You're saying that I said stuff in my podcast.
I'll go wherever you want to go.
I never said.
I'll go wherever.
So do you want to start with me working at home? Because I work at home. You just said something about me working at home.
You travel all around the world.
Oh my God, this is painful.
All right, this is getting definitely vitriol. But you know what? Just for argument's sake, I'm going to switch sides and try to defend this woman. Ultimately, what she's trying to get at is, and feminist people, please let me know if I'm getting this right. Unfortunately, with children, it's not like anything else. Like, if I choose between peanut butter or ketchup, that's a definitive decision. But the challenge is if I choose peanut butter versus going to trade school, right? They're really definitive, and one is I'm closing down an option. And I think what she's trying to get at is a lot of times raising children and a career are counterintuitive to each other. They don't necessarily work with each other. I think what she's trying to get at, don't box women into just having children and thus this is our only way to make or to receive fulfillment. We are more than just baby makers. We can have other things that fulfill us, and a career or otherwise can be that thing. So don't put me in this box. Don't do that to me. I don't know if Jai,
No,
you
you're right.
that.
You're right. And, just go back to the whole thing about fulfillment and having kids. Women need to understand that by age 30, you only have about 12% of your eggs left. By 35, it's 6%. By 40, it's less than 3%. By age 20, when people say you're most fertile, you have 25% of your eggs. That's the quantity, not the quality. The quality declines with age. So a lot of these feminists that propagate the idea that, I can wait longer to have fulfillment and have kids might not be able to have it. There's modern technology to help enhance like IVF, but again, that's expensive. How many people can afford that? So when you put away these things that by nature you want to have when you get older, you're only outdoing yourself, So this whole feminism movement, I don't know what started it. Women who put away having kids, prioritize their career over having kids and think that they can do it at later years. It's not that easy. And, you know, a lot of women would want to have kids and grandkids when they're older. You can't just rely on your nieces and nephews. You want your own.
And again, if I can be that
Sure.
devil's advocate on her side, the challenge then is okay, if you want this, and again, I'm sure she's not making this argument, but I'll just make this argument. If you want if you want me to just have children and repopulate our society, then don't make it where I have to work at all. I think it is a standard that we have a two-income household. So that in a sense means that men are not doing their job. They have literally cut their job in half. And so now we're asking women to pick up the slack, but at the same time, we're also telling them, hey, you also have a limited time expiration date, and I need you to step up and be that 100% job as a woman. Yet, my job as a provider is only 50% if you think about it, if my wife is working too, right? So, obviously, biologically, I cannot have half the babies because that's the
Yeah,
only thing
yeah,
that would
yeah.
be fair. So, if she doesn't have the babies and she's working, then I can have the babies. I deliver the first set of babies, and then when her career is on point, then she has the second set of babies. That doesn't work. Biologically, we can't do that. So I guess one of the challenges is that, maybe us as men, we need to step up, or maybe a society, we need to check ourselves. We need to maybe bring down income levels, cost of living, where now it can reform itself back to a single parent, single income household. And then I'd really be interested to see if this statistic even
Yeah.
exists still. Because, like I said, women are only working because our economy is so huge, inflation's so crazy, no family can live off of just one income. My argument is if we want women to do 100% of the job in terms of this part, then we need to go back to doing 100% of providing. And we don't
Yeah,
do that.
I'm a proponent that a guy is the provider. Like if you're a guy, I don't believe in 50-50 relationship in terms of if you're the guy. Especially when you have kids, I think you should do more. The woman should be working like it should be like they should it shouldn't be a situation where they have to work. It should be more of a, and the ideal would be that they just choose to work, not that they have to work in a relationship. Because I'm a proponent of the guy being the breadwinner and providing most of it. However, that being said, to your point, we're in a society where two-income household is where it's at. You can't, it's very hard to have one-income household, but there has to be that balance where if the woman is working and taking care of the child, as a guy, you have to do more. And that's where you'll find your wife happier. I don't think a woman it's in their nature to want to struggle. A woman wants a guy who can provide most of the stuff. If not everything, at least the more important things. So society is at a point where, this whole 50-50 thing, I personally don't believe in it, but it will speak to a woman's happiness. But I can guarantee you, if you ask like 10 women and give them the option, hey, you just want to have kids and just stay home and do whatever you want to do. Like, I'm not saying you can't work, but if you choose to work, it has to be your choice, but you don't have to. I'm pretty sure 7 out of 10 women would say, you know what, I want that. That I don't want to have to be going to the office and take care of my child. I just want to take care of my child and stay home and do whatever I want to do, maybe some online business or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
And also, if we align with that, then we don't run into things like this,
that.
right?
Oh yeah, that dude,
It's a perfect
that
example,
dude,
right?
man,
If this woman, the CEO, or sorry,
the
the
HR
HR
lady. Mhm.
lady, was not working and she was at home, this would never
No, no,
happen.
no. It's a
This would
different
never happen.
conversation, Kevin. We need to understand that a
I don't
a
think so.
man's it's different, and I'll tell you why. A man who's going to step outside is going to step outside, whether it's with the woman at work. whether it's with the person he meets on the street, whether it's on his way to work, whether it's the person who's serving him coffee. If the man's going to step out, he's going to step out. It was just convenient.
Push.
Okay, it was it's just that
Okay,
this
go on.
woman happened to be the HR lady, happened to be somebody he works with, and it's also convenient that she's available and she's there. Fine, I get your point that if women weren't working, but as a man is the man's going to be a man. Are you trying to tell me that back in the day when there was less women in the workforce, men didn't cheat? No. Maybe the availability of women they had to cheat with at work wasn't there, but they still stepped out and went to other places to find women to cheat with. So again, it's a different conversation, but yeah,
I don't know.
I'll
The
let you
only,
state your point. Go ahead.
yeah, and I'll just stop. I'll just say the last thing here real
Sure.
quickly, but there's a reason why in impoverished areas there's the check cashing place, there's the liquor store. There's a reason why these things are saturated in certain demographic areas. Where there's smoke, there's fire. The point I'm trying to say is if we as men were the only ones in the workforce, this wouldn't exist. There would be no women around. I'm not saying that this person is honest and a good person, but a lot of times society is what drives us from not doing
Mm,
anything, right? The Purge is a perfect example. The Purge, right? That fictional movie of one day you can kill anybody. You don't think people would do that if that existed? Of course they would. But normally people are good because of our rules, because of society, because of where we are and what's around us. But ultimately, if we have the opportunity, we're all evil. We're all evil minded. So that's why I push back on it. You're evil too, Jai. I'm evil. If you knew you can get away with something without any recourse and nobody would find out,
yeah, I agree.
I highly
That's
doubt that you
human
would be
nature.
this
That's human
saint.
nature. Yeah,
That's
that's
all I'm
human
trying to
nature.
say.
But remember that men are only
Exactly.
as faithful as their options. So if there are no options in the workplace, yes, there's no woman there. You can't do anything. But guys will always find a way. If he wants to cheat, he will. He'll find a way. He'll find a woman out there. There's always a woman out there somewhere that he'll find.
Yeah. I'll kill somebody if I had the opportunity.
Why do you say these things,
Guys,
guy, man?
just going by your logic.
Oh man,
I'm
this is
just be
what I
honest.
said, but
If I could,
okay,
I would.
let's guys.
All right, guys. It's been a Thought Friday. You guys let me know what your thoughts are. We kind of shifted, but sincere apologies. Please like and subscribe. Help us with these algorithms and keep giving you this content. All right, guys, it's been a pleasure. Have
I
a
guess.
good one. See you in the next one.